Hey, folks, this is Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast Hip Hop and the president of the Compton Entertainment Chamber of Commerce. And today, I have some very unique ladies on the show. This is a community show, folks. I'm trying to give them some exposure because I've been following this lady. This one lady I've been knowing for quite some time. I was with her last week, and I saw the good work she does in the community. I told her, you got to come on the show. Now, normally, she don't come on the show herself. She says, her girl. But today, she's going to sit down with me today. We're going to talk about what she does. Her name is Donna YG, and her friend over there in the corner is Miss Mary Jones. How you ladies doing today?
We're doing good.
Fantastic.
Good. Now, you know, Donna, you and I have been doing business off and on for the last God knows how long. And we've been friends off and on. But this is the first time we worked together. I didn't know what you did. I heard about what you did, but for the first time last week, I saw what you did. Tell me about your organization.
Well, thank you, Alonzo. First of all, I want to compliment you too. I didn't know all the work you did, and you're doing great works yourself. But I am the owner and operator of Watch It Grow Incorporated. I'm also the CEO. We are a nonprofit organization in South Los Angeles, California, and right in the Athens Park area, actually Willowbrook, in between El Segundo and Main and San Pedro. We're off of Jarvis Avenue. Okay. I have had a shelter there since 2002. I actually opened that up as a transitional house. And then when we got a little more funding, we were able to make it a shelter in 2004 up to date. We are a shelter because we can take an individual in, not much on the application, house them for 3 weeks, feed them for 3 weeks. We have a washing machine and dryer on site. We have all of the supplies that they need. And we also have services for them. We if they need mental health services, we will connect them with Exodus Mental Health, whose caseworkers come into our facility every day. If they have some type of addiction or substance abuse, we will connect them with AA, CA, or NA sponsorship. And if they have any physical or mental disabilities, we will connect them with Social Security or DPSS. So we have a lot of connections with the community. We also have an outreach program. It's called our Giving Back program, where some of the residents, myself, and some community volunteers go out 5 days a week and we distribute food. If you'd like to know where those distributions are, you can look on our website. It's too many to name right now. I can give you a few. Sorry about that if you like. But we also do 2 10-pallet donations a month. And that is what you were at. Our community event that we just partnership with New Mount Calvary Church, El Segundo and Avalon. Yep. And we're going to be doing that every third Thursday of the month.
Now, all this right here is my neighborhood, okay? Jarvis is around the corner. I grew up on Carlton. Jarvis right around the corner. I had to cross Jarvis every time as a kid going to the grocery store. Got rocks threw at me by your ex and his brothers. we not gonna talk about that.
He's not my ex. Why are you saying he's my ex? No.
Okay. No.
That's my existing husband.
That's your existing. My bad. Your existing. Okay. All right, it's all good. It was your pre because we was kids back then. New Mount Calvary, Pastor Dawson, good friend of the family. Been knowing him forever. Well, I knew him forever. Him and Jeffy worked on a lot of things together. Right there by the club. There's two churches right by the club. Pastor Dawson's church, the brown one, and the white church. We all share the same alley. And I've been to his services quite a bit. So this is all my neighborhood, folks. That's why it's a little near and dear to my heart because this is where I grew up and down these streets of Willowbrook. And like I said, I've been knowing this lady for quite some time. I know her husband, the whole everybody. And I didn't know
why you said it right that time. I'm glad you
know that. My ass in the corner. Oh no, you're not gonna catch me in the street. Shit out of me. Oh no, you ain't talking about that. No. I know her folks, and like I said, when she told me I really don't like doing interviews, no, you got to come talk to me. I'm glad that Mary. I'm glad to have you here. But me and her, we go back a little bit, so we got to have that little personal thing, a little personal touch. Mary, what do you do?
You know, I do a couple of things, but specifically with Watch It Grow, I'm on her board, and I'm also the business liaison for her. So when there needs to be, any kind of business connections done and things like that, I'm the person that helps with writing up documents and letters and those types and grants. We work on grants together and things like that. I also have my own entrepreneurial adventure in creative director and stylist. So I basically produce a lot of fashion shows throughout the Los Angeles area. So you will be hearing about Black Butterfly 51 pretty soon.
Black Butterfly 51. Let me write
Yeah,
that
and
down.
there's no A in black.
Just BLCK.
Yes.
Okay, Butterfly. Sorry, 51. What the 51 stands for?
You know what? You're not allowed to ask that. Just take it. Just take it as 51.
All right,
Alonzo, I want to add something to this. You know, me and Mary are from Washington, D.C. She is one of the reasons I moved here in 2002. We were college roommates. We've known each other quite a long time. So it is a pleasure to work for her. It's unbelievable some of the travels and experiences that we had over life. But this is one of the most rewarding right here.
What college you guys ladies go to?
Virginia State.
Okay. So are y'all from Virginia as well, or are you?
It's only an hour.
DC.
You know, DC
Washington,
is as big as Compton. We came out here and I was like, my God, LA is huge. So DC, Virginia, Maryland, all of that is really close together, but it's about what was it, like 2.5 hours from our house? So we were far enough to get in trouble.
But to answer your question, we're from Washington, D.C.
Yeah,
okay. I've been to both of them, DC and Virginia. I got a long story for about both those cities, and I told the story on the podcast recently about how in DC I was the king, and in Virginia I just was it was a whole other story. But anyway, we ain't talking about y'all. Huh?
It's a whole nother, it's a whole nother
story. It's a whole nother.
We grew up, it was the chocolate city. It's a whole nother thing in DC right now, but we came from the chocolate city, a real one.
Chocolate city. Now, what inspired you to do what you do, ladies?
Mine is my history. If you give me a few seconds, I'd like to tell you a little bit about me.
Take your time.
I am from a middle-class family. Went to Catholic school. I'm an only child. My mom had me in dance school, piano lessons. We skated. I bowled. I got 2 partial scholarships for college, one for bowling, the other one for modern dance. And I went to college and I did pretty well, but I also wanted to know what everybody was doing on the corner. They looked like they was having fun along. So I am telling you, and that is exactly what happened to me. As a result of that, I ended up with some pretty shady people, and I started doing shady things. I got into things that did not make my mother happy. A lot of people called me hopeless. And in 1996, God saw fit to allow me to walk into a program that saved my life. And what I decided to do when I came out to California, because I had some sobriety and I had gotten a good job. I was working for a Hard Rock Cafe, believe it or not. Somebody looked like me, and I was corporate. I was traveling around the world actually doing openings, training waiters and expediters. So I had some experience with traveling. I came to visit Mary, and I liked California, and I came out here and I bought a home specifically to make it into a sober living at that time.
Okay.
And when I made it to a sober living and we became a nonprofit, I saw other opportunities to really help people. A lot of people coming out of mental institutions, jails, and treatment centers did not have money. So we set it up where they were able to stay there for up to 3 weeks. And we found out that we could be classified as a shelter. So that is a little background about me. But I'd like to add, and this is one of the reasons why I like to tell my story, because, I went from being homeless due to some of the horrible choices that I made to allowing individuals over the last 20 years, thousands of individuals to have a home. I went from being hungry because I was out there on the street to running 5 food distributions a week for underserved communities. I went from not being able to go in the store because my hands were a little sticky, to owning and operating a 99-cent store for 18 years right there on El Segundo in Figueroa as our job placement program. And we were able to have what they would consider unemployable individuals in the underserved neighborhood. We employed over 300 individuals.
Okay.
I went from stealing toys from one of these big neighborhood people. We actually stole the whole truck. I'm not gonna get into that story when I was out there doing.
Tell me about that. How you?
Would you like to hear it?
Jackie,
it was a shady character. I don't want to call his name. You know, he liked to do illegal things during the week. So the way he made it up is he drive a truck full of toys into the hood and he would give them out.
Okay.
And once he got out the car, a partner of mine jumped in the truck and we ran off with the truck and, you know, and we took the toys. Okay. But last year alone, we gave out 5,000 toys to underserved communities. Wow. So I am so grateful. We've been given toy distributions, turkey distributions, food distributions, housing, and job placements for the last 20 years.
Okay, fantastic. I'm glad. It's amazing how God turns people around. You have to experience some things to do some things. You know, you just, you got to go through something to understand what it feels like to go through something.
I also believe that gratitude is an action word. When those bullets was flying past my head in the 80s, you know, none of them hit me. So I'm grateful to be here today and I'm showing that. I'm trying to.
You know, I do some things myself. I've been shot at. I had prostate cancer. I was in a major car wreck in 2000 and killed my passenger. Passenger died. That right there on Crenshaw and Century. So my head, I got a lot of different situations I deal with as well. And that's my motivation to do what I do. Because I've been spared a few times. So I understand where you're coming from.
That is absolutely true.
When you've been spared by God, for whatever reason, okay, you it's a debt you have to pay back.
I agree. That's what a lot of people don't understand that gratitude is an action word.
Yes, sir.
We show our gratitude. And I try to pass that on. And I think that you've seen some of the volunteers that are out there. I don't know if I mentioned that with our Give Back program, they're out there on the grind trying to help others that were like them or that, you know, just to give back and get outside their self. You know, their head is not their best friend all the time.
Just the fact that they're in a position to give makes people feel good sometimes.
I think so.
Just being in a position to give makes people feel good. I know. I gave out them toys you gave me the day. I went to the cleaners. Lady was talking about her son and his baseball, whatever team, football team. I gave her one of them boxes. Oh, what is this for? I said, give them to your son and the baseball team for being good kids. Oh, thank you. So, you know, it just, hey, it was no big deal, but it's a big deal on the other end. I appreciate you putting them in my car.
Oh, no problem. I told you to take some more. You would have been able to give it.
I'm going to get some.
I got you.
All right. Now, where you said to find you and your weekly giveaways, go to your website. What's your website?
It's watchitgrowinc.net. All one word. watchitgrowinc.net.
So you primarily do this in certain areas, right?
Yes, we go. I'll give you a couple of locations. We go to Avalon and 135th. They have a new, probably 3-year-old building that they just put up for low income and homeless. And right next door to it, there's a senior citizen building. Okay. So we drive into that gated community and we service those residents. So that's 190 residents that we do every Monday. Okay. And then on Wednesdays, we go to 92nd and Figueroa. That is a senior citizen building. That is a open food distribution to that corner, but we do it right in front of that building. Okay. We do 100. See, I always get that one confused. We're at Mount Ethel Church on Main Street, and that's every Friday. And then on Broadway and 92nd every Saturday.
Okay.
And those are 4 that I can think of offhand, but they're all on my website.
I got to get you into Compton. You say you want to come to Compton? I'm going to get you into Compton.
I want to come to Compton to do the 10 pallet giveaway, but right now, food distribution, you know, that's another thing, Lonzo. We do a lot of work for a small organization. I have about 10 staff. Okay. I have 2 truck drivers. I have a manager and assistant manager. I have a manager and assistant manager for the outreach. And then, I have a cleaner for the house. So we have a small staff, but we do a lot, and we solicit a lot of volunteers. That is why each organization or each site that I go to, I make sure that there's an orchestrated volunteer committee so that the people are already standing out there after we or my staff goes to the grocery store and picks this up. So you and I are going to have to really coordinate something where we're able to go into Compton. This is what I would like to do, into one of the underserved communities, drive our truck up in there, unload, and just give out.
Got you. We make that happen. You know, well, for some reason, I set this up about an hour ago. I was on the internet looking for a part for my car. Nobody called me at all. All of a sudden now, it's like always. I'm sitting here with you ladies, and all of a sudden everybody wants my attention. And I usually turn my phone off, but I didn't turn it off because I am expecting a call, but not right now. So anyway, we're gonna make this happen, folks. I don't mean to be rude, but sometimes every once in a while you got this is special something you waiting on, and you can't afford to. If you miss them, you won't get them back for another week or two.
Oh yeah, anyway, no, opportunity knocks sometimes only once, right?
One time, okay, but spam likely and opportunity. So you need to go into you need a not really a project, but just a community to go into so you can be most effective. Is that what you're saying?
I have found out that you've seen the amount of donations we get. It is hard to carry that away. So I found out that it's best if we go up to your front door per se. So what we've done, we've driven up into, like I said, these low income communities. We've been in Watts. You help me know the name of what is that? La Haciendas?
Yeah.
We've gone up in there. We've gone up in that other community in Watts. Help me know the name of that one. What's that called again, Lonzo? You told me before. Nicholson Gardens. We've gone up in there. We have an event on the 25th in the jungles. We go up in there. So I say all that to say that I feel more comfortable if we drive right up to your doorstep, because when you have to carry things away, be it though a senior, a disabled, a mother with children, it's a lot. And a lot of people don't have a car. So we're a mobile giveaway unit.
Now you also say you deliver people's houses sometimes, right?
We do. We have families. It's called our Adopt a Family program. So right now we have 5 families, and once a week we will take supplies, food, and personal items to their door.
Okay.
So
now, I was just about to say, when I was there Thursday, I've never seen anybody give away such a big variety of things.
Mm-hmm.
You had toys,
you
had school supplies, backpacks, you had hair. You had pink hair, you had green hair, okay? Whatever you need, and I'm seeing people carrying bundles of hair out and backpacks the whole 9 yards. So you have a vast variety of items for people. And I think that's what makes your situation unique.
Yeah, we were blessed enough to be partnering with Feed the Children. They used to be in Ontario, California when we first started with them in 2010. But after COVID, they moved to Arizona. So we get 26 pallets every 3 weeks from them. And when they went to Ontario, it wasn't that bad because we could pick up. But now I have to hire a trucking company to go get that every 3 weeks. We also rent from a warehouse in the City of Industry. And that warehouse is getting pretty packed for a good reason, because we got the holidays coming up. We got some good holiday events coming up. And we're trying to store right now a lot of toys and gifts and things that we're going to be giving out to the community upcoming. But as you know, on your podcast, I'm just going to say this. If anybody has any warehouse space in the Compton, Willowbrook, Watts area, please let us know. We are willing to work out something with a lease. We have been looking in this area for a long time, and we're trying to upgrade our warehouse just to service the community in this neighborhood instead of that travel.
I could imagine going in the City of Industry. That ain't no easy travel. Sometimes people can get horrible between here and City of Industry. That 605 ain't no joke.
Mm-hmm. And we'll have an event where we have to fill that truck up with 10 pallets, which is what it holds. And then in 2 days, we'll have another event where we have to fill that truck up with 10 pallets.
That's a lot of pallets. That's
a lot of pallets.
Yeah.
But I love it. Don't you love it? I love to see the faces. I love it. I love it.
It is heartwarming. That's for sure. That is for sure. Let me see here. What else I want to ask you? Now, you're from D.C. You went to school in Virginia. You live on Jarvis. The City of Industry is where your warehouse is, but your service Willowbrook. Did I get it all straight?
You got it all straight. I like that area too. I just said that to say, because you grew up there, and I heard some fantastic stories about you and that neighborhood. And, I hear stories all the time. People think I'm from there. Of course, my husband tells me stories all the time about Jarvis. And all I know is that if we stick together as a people, then we can do major things. And that's the kind of stuff that me and Mary saw coming up, being from the Chocolate City, which was predominantly Black business owned, Black ran, Black community. So I got out here, and this could be just the times too. I saw, some divide. So I'm trying to help like you are. And I really admire, your gang intervention with this unity. I think that we are a class of people out of the world that just not know how to unify. When
You
that's
know, that was something that was instilled in us as we first came over here. They separated the men from the women, the light from the dark, the old from the young, and they found ways to make it show our differences as opposed to finding ways to show our similarity. And they've even with American people, they do that with religion, whether they do it with income, location. They find ways to separate people. As long as people are separated, powers that be can stay in control. And once we find a way to bring our differences together, as opposed to being built on bring our likes together, as opposed to our differences, we'll all be a lot better off.
Oh yeah, I agree. But like I said, we didn't grow up around gangs. We didn't have Bloods and Crips in Washington, so it was a little bit of a culture shock. But I know New York had it. But if you know the movie Warriors, sorry,
loved it.
Yeah, that's a true story. So a lot of those kind of disembarked back in the 70s, even though you have spots of it here and there. And they got into more Black empowerment in the 80s and 90s, if you notice. So I really love what you're doing. And I think it's going to catch on. I really do. But you're right. It's very political. As soon as you do something, the enemy will come and make it look like you guys are still gangbanging and stuff like that. So I know it's difficult, but
the most common thing is they always drop the so because it happened to me one time. It happened to me. I was doing some things I did a television show. One of my songs went to a television show, and because the people I was working with didn't know how the business go, and I didn't really know myself, I got $300 to let them use a song. But the lie that was told, I got 300,000.
Oh,
okay. I got 300,000, and everybody was mad because Lonzo got $300,000 and didn't give you guys anything. I got $300, but because and don't talk to me about it because I'm going to take care of it. I'm going to handle everything for you. Don't worry about it. And they did not talk to me. And this is one of the things they do to leaders in the community. He got that $1 million check. Well, that $1 million check between the lawyers and the office building and the so and so. You very well know. Getting a grant or any kind of money, it don't mean you just pass out money because you have to budget that money. You have to account for that money. Like that.
They're finding that out. There are a lot of supervised grants right now. We just got a pretty decent grant last year, but I remodeled the whole shelter. I converted my garage into a full pantry. I closed in my back porch and made that extra shelter space as well as a good closed-in space for the residents already there. With the amount of money we had to show what we did, and that's fine because this is what I'm getting it for. We have a payroll for the rest of that, but still, that is what we're getting it for. But I like what you said because communication is a must. That is another reason why I'm here. I know Mary does a fantastic job explaining my organization, but nobody can show the passion like I do. And if I want to exploit what I do, then I should get up the nerve to do it because I am very shy. But for instance, when we were at our event and you were telling me somebody told you one thing and somebody else told you another thing about where you could put your flyers, and I said who the leads were and who the direct point of contact were, that's how I feel like we should communicate. You know what I'm saying? That's where the chaos and confusion came.
Yep.
So you see me and how I feel about that. I was very passionate about that. Like, I don't even know who this person is who told you that, but I know they're not the lead. That I know, but you didn't because that was your first time. And I understand.
Right.
So we don't have time to be, that's another thing. We don't have time to be playing these kind of ego trip games in life either. This is serious business that's going on right now. It really is. We have the homeless. They just passed that law where people aren't going to be able to sleep on the street. It will be against the law very soon. They're arresting people, and they haven't found housing for all of them yet, even though they're trying, because food insecurity is growing more and more. Businesses are closing down. So this is no joke.
And a lot of times, just a basic misunderstanding, if handled without the attitude, can be handled in a matter of seconds. And sometimes that's the problem. It's not the problem. It's the attitude in addressing the problem. And I've learned to just, you know what? I'm gonna talk to Donna about this and let's see what she got to say. Because I don't know who this person is. You said we can't do it. I don't know you, but I know Donna. Let me talk to Donna. And we got what we want.
And it was just, to me, I'm a lot of things, Lonzo. I can be shy, I can be elusive, but I am never in my life been petty, and I just thought it was very petty. It's something that I wouldn't even have a second. Oh, of course you can, not even a second thought about. So it was a whole deal, but that is how I feel like we should communicate. I truly appreciate you talking to me about it and showing up like you did. And I can't wait to do some things. What are your ideas about doing something in Compton? You tell me what your ideas.
Well, you know what? I work with all the city council and the mayor and various organizations in Compton. So it's just a matter of making a couple of phone calls, picking a date and a location. I work with nonprofits, I work with businesses, I work with, like I said, the city council, and there are several events that we can come out to, set up shop. You can set up shop and you leave Christmas is coming up. Not Christmas, but the Christmas parade's coming up. There's usually a something they do after the Christmas parade. We can do a pop-up shop right up after the parade. Ain't nothing gonna go back home with you on that one right there. Nothing. Okay, so that could be arranged. I can make a phone call with that and make something happen. So there is definitely things we can do. I'm pretty much aware of all the events between the newspaper and the chamber. I'm pretty kept well abreast of what's going on. So we can figure out something, and it sounds like you don't need a whole lot of time. A couple of days notice, you have a truck full and deliver it, and we out of there in 2 hours.
That's what it said. You're absolutely correct. Is it possible that you would be able at some point to advertise our monthly third Thursday community event? As you saw, we had extra to spare, so it's plenty of people didn't show up. We would love to have that exposure. If anybody's listening, it's every third Thursday, Mount Calvary Church on El Segundo and Avalon at 3 p.m. We have food, we have supplies. Like Alonzo said, we have hair. We have a differential of things, but it's all brand new, straight out the box, straight from the warehouse. And we have more than enough to give you to help service your family for many needs.
All you gotta do is send me the flyer, darling. Send me the flyer by Wednesday. I'll make sure it's either my newsletter or my newspaper. Either way, no
problem.
We got you. Okay.
I would like for Mary, if you don't mind, to tell just a little bit about some of the work she just did.
I was just going to say that. She's over there quiet the church mouth over there.
Yeah. Long Beach Unity Festival. She did a fashion show for Goodwill's Gala. I mean, she has been doing some extremely good work. I'm going to have her do a fashion show for my gala coming up in 2025. Okay. So let me turn this over to Mary.
Come on, Miss Mary.
Okay, well, I'll start from the origin. I'll move real quick. So I did come here from DC, and I came here to do costume and wardrobe for television and movies. And so when I got here, I started doing it. Realized the industry was like long hours, like 15 hours a day, 20 hours a day. And once we started having children, I was like, okay, I can't do 15, 20 hours a day. Currently, I mentor young ladies. So that's what I like to do. I like to mentor young ladies, try to, take them from underserved communities and just show them and expose them to things that they normally wouldn't get, like etiquette and building their self-esteem. And hopefully through helping these young ladies build their self-esteem, that it'll trickle down to the young men in their community so they can teach the young men how to treat them and they can start learning how to treat ladies like ladies. So that's part of what I like to do is mentor. The fashion part is in my heart. I just work with some young ladies at I'm in Long Beach. I'm in Long Beach. So yeah, I work with some young ladies that live in a housing situation in North Point. and also I think Sea Point Port is next door. So I taught them about personal grooming. I taught them about poise. I taught them about etiquette. And like I said, just try to build up their self-esteem so that they, you know, can stand for themselves and not be vulnerable to the craziness that goes on in most of the underserved communities. And like I said, I did a fashion show. This was my second inaugural year doing a fashion show with the Goodwill Industries. So that was another
second year with Long Beach Unity Festival.
And my second year with Long Beach Unity Festival. So I like to work with the communities and organizations that help the youth and people in the areas.
Fantastic. I can't wait.
Fun fact of Alonzo. Sorry about that. I had to say, Havana Capital owns North Point on Paramount and South here in Long Beach. It's a very nice low-income community. I don't know if you're familiar with that, as well as Sea Point, and he just bought some of the jungles. He has 30 properties in the United States, and he is an African-American gentleman. Very nice.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a fun fact. We just signed contracts with them. We're trying to develop something where people come out of our shelter and are able to get placement, but we're doing a lot of work with him too, and he's a good contact. At some point, I'm going to make sure that you speak with their staff, because they own property you may not be aware of. Like I say, he owns part of the jungles.
Okay.
Yeah, they could help with some of the nonprofits that you deal with, if you don't mind me saying.
That's what we're here for, folks. That's what we're here for. All right, ladies. Where can they find you at again?
You can find me at watchitgrowinc.net. My phone number, the address to our facility, our distributions, food distributions, as well as our upcoming events will be on that site. We also have our Facebook information on that site. Black Butterfly,
where can they find you at?
It's Black Butterfly 51. There's no A in black. On Instagram, it's styled by Black Butterfly 51 because the other one is my personal page. But styled by Black Butterfly 51 on Instagram.
All right, there you go, folks. You have it. Watch it grow. Black Butterfly, live with Lonzo right here, Facebook, YouTube. Let's help these ladies, help the community. They have a beautiful heart. They have beautiful hearts. They have great missions. They have product, food, whatever you need. They got it. Coming to an area near you in the very near future. Thank you, ladies, for coming on and hanging out with me for a little while. I'm going to send you this link. You can share it with your supporters, and we will talk to y'all later. We'll see you in the streets.
All right, Alonzo. I'll hold you to that. Thank you.
You got it, baby. Be good.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.